Okay, so welcome to day 2 of what I'm calling the 25 days of tier lists. I mentioned it in part 1, and I'm going to mention it in this part and a couple more parts after this. So if you're watching these in order every single day, you might get annoyed at this, but drop ideas in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts, or not thoughts, but let me know what tier list you want me to do. It can basically be anything, like basically anything. I might struggle, and it might take me a while to do something like a music tier list, because I would have to go out and probably listen to all these music songs that are in the tier list and whatever. And I know some things are gonna be highly opinionated, but it's fun to do stuff like this. I have fun making tier list videos. They get views too, and like obviously that's the point of YouTube, is to get noticed. And who doesn't love a tier list video? Like obviously a lot of these are, again, opinion based. So today I thought, you know what, I found this, just a little Jurassic Park. These are basically like the big dinosaurs that are known throughout the franchise from the first movie. Like you see the Brachio down here. And then I don't think they have like the Giga or the Therizinosaurus. So maybe it's not fully up to date, but you have what's the Indoraptor, I believe is what it's called. So that's the whatever the second Jurassic World movie is. So they have stuff from the newer movies and stuff from the older movies. And I thought, why not just have fun and just do a little ranking of the kind of the most famous ones and the ones that I love. So again, it doesn't have to be Christmas based for these 25 tier lists that I'm doing. And again, it might be a couple more. I mentioned this in day 1. I might be going to the 30th or 31st or whatever of December, but right now it's just 25, and again, those are going to be some bonus episodes. So put ideas down below. Anything, doesn't have to be Christmas themed. It can be literally anything. Let's have some fun with this. So to get into this though, I don't know the name of this one. I am not, I guess I should say I have not kept up with all these new name dinosaurs and whatnot. When I was a kid, this was my fantasy. I wanted to raise one. I wanted to pet, a T-Rex, everything like a kid would. But I don't know everything. I haven't kept up with this crap because I've kind of grown out of it as, I've gotten older. But I'm still a dinosaur fan at heart. I still love this stuff. And yes, not like it's not accurate. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World aren't accurate, but it's still fun to see people's interpretations of dinosaurs and whatnot, because everyone has different interpretations of them. Obviously now we're finding out that they probably had feathers on and they weren't scales like what Jurassic Park and Jurassic World are. But it's just fun to see. It's fun to see different ideas. Things that come out of people's brains. But to say that this is forgettable, so I'll probably I'm gonna probably put him down here because I don't even remember his name, and I'm sure there's gonna be someone that notices this video and it's gonna say, "Oh, it's this. How could you forget that?" It's like, okay, well, when I think of that dinosaur, that's not how I see it. And when it has a smaller role, I'm gonna forget. The Ankylo. Even outside of like media and just the scientific facts that we know about it, like this dude, I would have loved to see this species just like get into a fight with some predator, because like when you got a club on your tail and you're just going and you're gonna break bones, like dude, I want to see this guy in action. You got a armored plate on top of you, like you're a tank, like you're a tank. And even they fossilized and they kept them. Even Mother Nature's like, yeah, the future generations, other species in the future have to see that this unit was a tank. But I love, they're not the craziest, and they kind of just get killed by the Indominus Rex, but they're fun. I have so much fun with them. And yeah. What is it? Is this a I forget if it's a Patasaurus or maybe it's Argentinosaurus. I forget what, because again, they don't have every single dinosaur in this franchise. Aren't they both? Oh no, this is a different species. That's right. God dang it, I don't remember that species. We'll get to that in a minute. I feel like the only time we've seen them was when they're either running away or getting killed. So, I did like, I love when Jurassic Park does the animatronics for stuff. So you're not just, a human interacting, with, oh, I'm holding the dinosaur. Like, you actually have, like, a puppet to hold and whatnot. So those things are kind of cool to see when they're able to do stuff like that for dinosaurs. But, again, when you're not really... I might even move down here, because, they don't really do anything. Now, I believe this is supposed to be the baryonyx. Now, obviously, again, it's not accurate. It's not what it's supposed to be like. It probably wasn't... Well, has that information changed? That it probably wasn't supposed to be like a predator? It's probably just a scavenger or going after fishes. I don't even know if information has changed, because every single day we're getting brand new information. We're discovering new fossils. We're still discovering new species of animals every single day that live and breathe at the same time we do right now. So, I don't know if this is still, but, it wasn't really predator-based, essentially. It's what I know. Again, maybe things have changed since I've, really stopped focusing on, paleontology and whatnot. But, Barry, it's fun, and it's so nice to see these non-T-Rex, non-Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Allosaurus, stuff like that. I guess Allosaurus it's kind of a newer thing that they kind of, like, plaster all around. But, like these non-T-Rex, non-Stegosaurus, Triceratops, like, different species are shown. And so that's fun to me. That's really fun to me, is when we see different things. Now, obviously, like, let me just pull up Rexy. Where's Rexy? Rexy, like, well, I guess it's a queen, but because Rexy's a she. But, the king of the dinosaurs. The T-Rex, like, I grew up with, I plastered all over, had stuff on my wall. I went to go see Sue down in Chicago. I have a bunch of stuff still, to this day, plastered on my closet door of, Sue and, a bunch of information about Sue. Like, T-Rex is, like, it's the king for a reason. Now, obviously, again, Rexy, it's a female, so it's a queen. So you could say king and queen of the dinosaurs. But, like, when you think dinosaurs, this is probably the first one you think of. Like, let's be real here. Like, this is what you think of when you think of dinosaurs, is the T-Rex. And, basically every interpretation has been like, they're badass. Like, now, again, newer models and stuff like that. I think there was, like, one time, like, in the mid-2010s where they started to say, and this got debunked, but they started to say something like they were scavengers or whatever, and I'm like, that's not the T-Rex I knew. Don't change that. Don't change that. And when you see these fossils and these, like, full-grown adult, like, skulls and whatnot, and you think, that's a scavenger. These things are, like, 10 feet tall or whatever, fully grown. And those are scavengers? Yeah, right. Yeah. And I can't remember what I saw, but I do remember I saw some sort of article, and again, I believe it was debunked. So, but again, you think, king when you think of the Tyrannosaurus. Brachiosaurus, I feel like this is one of my favorite scenes in the whole Jurassic Park franchise. Outside of this, the T-Rex enclosure incident, like, this is the first time you actually, in the films, see a dinosaur, and it's just a Brachiosaurus towering over these trees and whatnot, eating off the leaves and whatnot. And obviously they show, a wider shot of a lake with a whole bunch of different, but, when you see, Alan Grant, when you see him take off and his hand is shaking, and then, they all start looking, it's like, yeah. Yeah. So this is one of my favorite scenes in the franchise. And it's really, I've really grown to love the Brachiosaurus, and it's mainly because, like, I feel like this scene, to me, does the dinosaur justice. It shows, like, hey, like, this guy, like, he's huge, he's towering, and, I guess in a way you could think he's menacing, like, humans could think he's menacing because it's a 90-foot tall creature. Like, of course we're gonna be tiny and scared compared to it. Obviously, it's a herbivore, but maybe the first time you see one, you don't realize that. You just never know. So it's just I absolutely love this scene here. Again, outside of this, it's one of my favorite scenes. Probably one of the best scenes in the entire franchise. Carnotaurus, doesn't really do too much. I think he kind of had a semi main dinosaur role where it kind of chased them around. I think it was the island. So was that Jurassic World 2, right? Yeah, 2. Yeah, 2. Kind of chased them around the island, and then I think doesn't it get killed by debris from a volcano? Isn't that how it dies? I forget. I forget how it dies, but it just But it's fun to see. It's fun to read about this guy. About the actual Carnotaurus, and not the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World version. But go out and read actual facts about it. It's an interesting creature. It is. Oh God. Ceratosaurus, right? I believe it's Ceratosaurus. I believe that's what it's called. This is JP3. Yeah, Jurassic. Yeah, it's number 3 for Jurassic Park. Which hang on. I'm just gonna. I love Spinosaurus, so let me just do that real quick. I don't really think it did a lot, but this was my introduction to the dinosaur. And again, when you go out and you read it, and it's different and whatnot, but it didn't do a lot, didn't have a lot of scenes and whatnot, but you could tell, hey, that thing, that horn on its head and whatnot, it's a predator. It looked badass. I remember being a kid and going, yeah, I want more of that. But obviously, we didn't get that. Didn't get a lot of them. But, to me, I love it. And again, when you go out and read facts about it, I believe the horns, it's not actually a horn. Or, no, it's a horn. I think it's for mating, I believe is what it was for. Obviously, again, we weren't live 69, 70 million years ago, whatever it was. When was the Jurassic period? I guess that was 100 million years ago, wasn't it? So yeah, we weren't alive 100 million years ago, so maybe they did use it to fight or whatever, or stab their victims or whatever. But this is my introduction to these non super well known dinosaurs. So I have a special place in my heart for this guy, even though again he didn't do much. So I guess they probably would in real life, but the scene where they just a bunch of them just go attack those people and kill those people, I love that scene. As it's probably not the most well remembered, and I have not read the book, but I believe it's actually better in the book. And what are they? No, they're not Coelophysis. I forget what they're called. Coelocamptus or something like that. But I always smile, and I love watching that scene. If you just see these little dinosaurs, and then the guy starts kicking them, and he just gets mauled by them and eaten. You're just being eaten by these little. It kills me. I love this. I love these guys so much. Again, maybe they. I guess they probably would be doing it in real life. But maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember what. I think they're from the Cretaceous period. I don't remember what period they would have lived in. But I love these guys. Parasaurs. Yeah, I think I'll put them up here. Oh, I guess you kind of have different type of herbivores there too. Dilo. Now again, I believe they don't actually spit venom in real life. Again, I think that was kind of a movie thing. Again, maybe there's fact. Again, I don't keep up with this stuff, so maybe they did find out facts that there actually was, they actually did spit venom. But I'm pretty sure, I'm 90% sure they didn't, and it was just a little fun, addition to the Dilo. Now this scene, I do know. I've actually seen a video where it was a reading of the section where I forget what the guy's name is, but he's the heavier set dude with the glasses. And that's he gets killed by the Dilo. It's actually more brutal in the book, which a lot of stuff is. It's a lot more brutal in the book than Jurassic Park, the movies, actually show. But the dialogue, I have a special place in my heart for the dialogue too. I absolutely love this. And again, in real life, if they actually did spit venom, I'd probably be like, yeah, like, yeah, they're a force to be reckoned with, and I love them. But again, this is probably just for mating or something like that. But if they did spit venom, hell yeah, I'd have them like. I'd probably, well, no, I guess I'd just do that because Spino's not, Spino's probably top 5 dinosaur for me. And again, they're not in real life. They're not as a huge carnivore. Like they're not huge on the carnivore list. They are more so like a fish carnivore, whatever whatever that name is. I don't even know. But they kind of did kind of scavenge for dinosaurs and more so attack fish and whatnot. But I love, like, I get it. Jurassic Park 3 is not like and I still like Spino again, even though they're not a actual carnivore in real life. But it was so fun to watch this guy. I always and I know I'm not the only one, but I always hated how it killed the T-Rex with ease and whatnot. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, and my parents used to talk about this too. I would always tell them, "Hey, replay that scene real quick," because I couldn't accept the fact that the T-Rex was getting killed by some dinosaur I've never even seen as a kid before watching Jurassic Park 3. And so it's like, hey, that's the T-Rex you're killing. That's not how it's supposed to go. But Spino, I grew up, learned more about Spino, and I love this. And there's even petitions. There's been people want Spino back in the Jurassic Park, or really Jurassic World franchise, but the Jurassic Park franchise as a whole. And I know Camp Cretaceous, which I have not seen, but I know he's in that. I know they had a skeleton in, I think it was Jurassic World 2. It might have been 1, but I think it was 2 where, no, maybe it was 1, where, was it Rexy or whatever? They had a T-Rex that smashed through it, and that might have been 1. But it would be fun to see like not a live action, but a movie version of the Spino game. Same one, or you can do a different one too. I'm going, this is going to be way too long. These things are like a hybrid thing, I'm not even putting them down here. Gallimimus, Indo, I don't know. I'm not really, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I thought this was a cool concept. I thought that, like, obviously you have people, they want to bring stuff back to life. Like, there's been talk for years about bringing the woolly mammoth back to life and whatnot. And so obviously, like, it's the cool concept of, hey, let's splice all these dinosaur DNAs together and see what we get. And they basically made like the apex predator essentially. So I thought this cool concept. I don't know. I couldn't get in love with it in the second movie. I couldn't. And, it's not really the fault of the dinosaur. I don't even like this aesthetically, too, looks a lot more better. And I get it. They're going for, like, a more darker theme. This is, in the nighttime, a lot more kind of, I guess, like, underground stuff happening and whatnot. I get it with the tone and whatnot, but, like, you couldn't make it kind of like blend in like a chameleon or anything, or maybe change the color or keep it kind of like that grayish white or whatever it was. It kind of contrasts what the Indo-Rex was, but I just I'm not the biggest fan of the look of it and whatnot. This one I think it's just like another was it sauropod, I believe. Yeah, I don't remember the name. The Moses, I'll put him in B. I'll put him right in the middle. Again, you have that cool moment of jumping out of the water to get the shark that's hanging over. You have the cool moment of jumping out of the water to get the Indo-Rex. And then you see him kind of eat a human, and you see the coming through the wave and whatnot, but not a lot else for this. And I did eat a couple ships probably. It did eat that submarine too at the start. Packy, I love the it's fun to learn about a dinosaur like that where it's basically the ankylo, but it's on its head where it just boom, and it's just gonna beat you to death with its head. So I'm sure this probably didn't have the biggest brain, but that bone is gonna be bone crushing. It's just gonna come down, and you're just gonna get hammered. Whether you're a bigger dinosaur, it's just gonna go for your legs and just boom, or you're a smaller dinosaur, it's just and you're dead. Like I love the concept of that. It does kind of have it has a couple scenes in it. I think doesn't it like flip over a truck, or I'm sorry, like a Jeep or whatever. I think it does. It's fun. It's a fun dinosaur. Wait. What? What the heck? Pterosaurs and whatnot. Yeah. I don't know. I've always been more fascinated with like the land, dinosaurs. I guess even though it's kind of like its own thing, it's not. I believe they're not exactly called dinosaurs. I believe they're like a whole nother group or whatever. But they're grouped in with dinosaurs essentially. Yeah, they're a fun thing. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of that. This one is this? It's like a Pachyrhinosaurus or something. I don't know. That's so dark. It's so dark to see. I can't tell what that is. Yeah, I love like the head crest and whatnot of it. Yeah, we got another. Oh no, we have Pachy and then I'll put them in the same tier. I'll put them right next to each other. God, what is its name? I can't remember the name of it. I think it starts with an S. But essentially the same thing, just more spikes and whatnot on its head and whatnot. It's a different variation of the Pachy. It's its own species, and I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, it's essentially the same thing where it's just gonna kill you with its head. So, Stego, yeah, love Stego. Gotta put Triceratops up there. Stego, one of the first dinosaurs outside of T-Rex introduced to me as a little kid, and then again you see him in at the time Jurassic Park was like one of the biggest names to have dinosaurs in it. Obviously Walking with Dinosaurs 2 and whatnot came out. I think it was like the year I was born or 99 or something like that. So I had these two things, and you see Stego in both. You get When Dinosaurs Roamed America too. Like you see Stego all over in early 2000s, late 90s dinosaur movies and documentaries and all this. It's just like they're a fun creature. Then you got the spikes on the end of its tail. You got I believe these are for heat, because obviously again it was a lot warmer in the Jurassic period. So I believe these are for heat. They might have been for mating too. Let me put that. I think they might have been for mating, but I think it was more so to regulate the heat of their body and whatnot. So, and then Velociraptor. I mean, come on, man. This is probably the second staple of the Jurassic Park franchise as a whole. You have the T-Rex, and then it's probably Velociraptor right after. Like, come on, man. Like, there's so many moments, and then again, I guess I was gonna say, like, I think that it's okay, how they kind of train the raptors and whatnot in the World franchise. I think that's okay, but the Jurassic Park raptors. I mean, outside again, I'm not Jurassic Park 3 raptors are okay, whatever, but like when they're attacking the guys in the I guess it was a forest and a little plains area or whatever, poking their head through the grass. Like when they just have like a lot of moments getting beat up by the T-Rex at the end of the first movie too. And then again when you have it like teaming up with a T-Rex or whatever to kill like the Indo or whatever it's doing. So like they have a lot of moments and a lot of fun moments to me. Again, I don't care too much for the JP3 Raptors. They were okay. And then you have that weird dream sequence where they were humans talking through, I forget what it was, but they're like you saw these guys as Velociraptors, but they were actually humans. I think Alan had the dream or whatever. I don't know. That just whatever. It's okay. I think again Spino's probably the best to come out of 3, and then again, like Ceratosaurus was just like a fun little addition there. But this is a lot longer video than I intended it to be because I end up going in depth about stuff. But let me know your thoughts. Jurassic Park is probably a staple franchise. So if you haven't seen, like, I guess a lot of people sour on Lost World too. Whatever. Go see the first 3. At least go see the first 3. If you have not seen the first 3, give it a chance. I know, 2 and 3 are okay. A lot of people sour on probably 2, and probably 3 more than 2. Probably 3 more than 2 is soured on a lot. But the first one is one of my favorite movies ever. Jurassic Park #1. The first one is up there. It's up there. If I made a top 10 movies all time for me, like my favorites, like Jurassic Park's top 5. Easily. Maybe even top 3. So, the first one. But again, if you have not seen it, again, go see the first 3. Again, if you want to see World, you can see World. Like the Mosasaurus, that's from there. Indo. Again, like if you want to see which one's to start, I guess like the first one would be the best one to really watch if you want to watch like a 4th movie too. But 2 and 3 are okay. Like the Giga doesn't do anything in 3. In Jurassic World 3, you have the Giganotosaurus, and like he's not, he doesn't really do anything, and he's supposed to be this big bad dinosaur for the movie. So whatever. You don't have to see 3. Obviously, it's brand new. Just came out. Was it earlier this year? So maybe wait for it. If it hasn't come out on DVD yet or whatever, wait for it. But again, if you want to see like the newer stuff, probably 1 is the best. Again, I'm not a fan of 2. You might like 2, but try 2 if you want to. But you have these 2 dinosaurs from 1. I think you're from 2. You're from 2. You're from 2. I think you're from 2 also. Yeah, so there's a lot of dinosaurs in here from 2. From Jurassic World 2. So again, this is way too long. I'm sorry, this is way too long. I'm going to wrap up now. Like the video, share the video and don't subscribe. Again, let me know your thoughts. Who are you moving up, who are you moving down? And again, put down below in the comments other ones you want to see. I'm out of here for now, though.